Images can make or break your website. They can elevate your design, affect your visitors' emotions, and communicate so much. But if they are not optimized, they're going to slow down your site and affect your SEO. Hey everyone, I'm Kelly Sparks, and today I'm going to teach you how to optimize your images for WordPress. And later on in the video, I will share my favorite image optimization plugin, which will really take your image optimization to the next level. So the first step to optimizing your images is to make sure that they are in the correct format. There are many different formats for images, but I'm just going to talk about the most used today. So that is JPEG, PNG and GIF. JPEG is the ideal type for photographs, so especially those without any text on them, so just a plain images. They are significantly smaller than the other file types, but they don't cope well with high contrast. So for example, black text on white, that wouldn't be great for a JPEG. And they also don't support transparency. So if you want something to have a transparent background, then you can't use a JPEG. And a transparent background means you can see through it. So if you wanted to put it at the top of your website and you wanted to see the background through it so that the logo just disappeared into the header, for example, then that would need to be transparent. And if that was the case, then you would need a PNG file. So PNG files are perfect for icons, logos, and drawings, anything with high contrast. Their ability to save with the transparent background is the main feature of them, really. And they can also be compressed without losing any quality. So the fine detail of a logo or a sketch will be preserved far better than if you used a JPEG for that. And finally, GIFs. Now, while they have their place on social media and in email marketing, you should avoid using too many on your website, as they can be particularly large file sizes. And also the quality can be poor. 1 or 2 GIFs are acceptable, but when you've got multiple GIFs, all loading one after another, things are going to slow down, and that's especially for a mobile user. They can also make your website look unprofessional. So if you were a lawyer or something like that, putting GIFs everywhere is going to make people think, ooh, are these people professional? So really think about whether GIFs are the right choice for your business too. So now we have the correct image format, and we need to ensure that it's sized correctly before we can start uploading the images. If your images are too small, they're going to be blurred. If they're too large, then they're going to really slow down your website, which is terrible for your user experience and also for search engine optimization. So the best way to find the size of your image, so the size of the image that you need for the particular container on your website, is to go over to your website. Over here, I have created a dummy website for my hair and beauty salon. And if I scroll down here, you can see I've got a few images, and if I click on this one here, so this is Elementor Page Builder. So if you don't have Elementor, then your screen could look quite different to this, but it's the same principle. Basically, you want to find the image you want to replace, so say this one here, and you check out the size by clicking on it, and it should open up in your media library like this has. And here over in attachment details, we can see the size of the image, so 400 pixels by 400 pixels. And I can also see that it is a square, and I can see that it's a JPEG as well. So if you were still not sure which file type to use, then just match the one that your developer uploaded or that was included in the template. If I didn't have Elementor, so say I was just using the standard WordPress Gutenberg editor, if I come over here to a Gutenberg page, and I've used the same image, but I can just click on that and then hit on replace and open media library, and again it's done exactly the same thing. It's brought up the attachment details and it's telling me the size of the image that I need to replace. If you haven't got a website yet, or you don't know what your image should be, or you feel that the one you've just loaded is too big, then always work on the fact that the maximum image size is 2000 pixels wide. And that should only be used on images that are the full stretch width of the site, so like a hero image, for example. Then once you have that, then you can work your way downwards. So if you want your image to be, it's roughly half the size of the screen or a quarter, then so a half will be 1000 pixels, a quarter will be 500 pixels, etc., etc. So it's obviously not as precise as the other method. If I come back here and look in Elementor and I preview this, This little image here that was 400 by 400 is roughly a quarter of the width of the screen, so it would definitely have worked for that. So let's come back over to the website that I was working on before, and say for example that this image here for nails, say I wanted to have a bit more of a nail picture, so it's definitely nails, not this could possibly be a advertisement for a cream, for example. Then I can just click on the image like I did before, just click on it again, just double check the size is right. And now I know that I need to have a new nail image that's 400 by 400 pixels. And then I come over here to Unsplash, and I found this lovely image of some tortoiseshell nails. So Unsplash is a free website that you can use to find some free stock images. So it's really great if you haven't got any photos for your business yet, or you're looking to just create some to give yourself an idea about what you need in a brand photo shoot. Take a look at Unsplash, it's fabulous. Anyway, so I found this amazing one by Bryony Eleanor, and it's a picture of tortoiseshell nails. So what I'm going to do is resize this. So before we get started with resizing, there are a few little rules that we need to follow. So the first is to be careful not to enlarge an image. For example, if your image is 500 pixels wide and you need it 1000 pixels wide, and then you enlarge it, then when you upload it to your website, it's going to be blurred. So don't do that. Never enlarge an image. And if you need a bigger one, then perhaps you could ask your photographer for a larger version, or if you found it on Unsplash, then perhaps you need to search for an alternative one. You also need to maintain the proportions of an image. So for example, this nail image I've got here is a portrait image. Now, if I just dragged it down from the top, then it would skew the image and it would look horrible. What I need to do is crop the image. So I need to crop it into a square to fit my website rather than squishing it, because you don't want it to be all distorted and horrible. You can resize images in the media library on WordPress, but I don't recommend this as the quality can be compromised and it does weird things to the images. So I like to use Lightroom or Photoshop and edit the image before I upload it to WordPress. But if you don't have those, then you can use Canva, which is free and it's easy, and it's the method that I'm going to show you today. So if I look at this image here that I've got, and scroll down and then click on info, I can see how large it is, and I can see what it was filmed, what camera it was taken with, and how many times it's been downloaded. But here we've got the dimensions. So this is 4160 pixels, which is far too large for what I want it for. I only need it 400 pixels. So let's just download it for free. So click on that and it downloads it, and it obviously gives you a little thing to give a credit to the photographer if you use it on your website. And I'm going to pop that in the notes below so you can go and find it if you want to. And now if I go over to Canva, and if you don't have a Canva account, then you can create a free one and still do this. You don't have to pay for Pro. Click on create a design and then custom size. And here I'm going to put in 400 by 400 pixels because that's how big my image container is. Click on create new design. And there we go, got a nice square there. And next I just need to upload the image that I just saved from Unsplash. So I go to uploads, upload media, click on device. And now there it is. And now I can just simply click on that and drag that into my image. Now obviously if I save that and upload it to my website, it's going to have all this weird white space around it, and that is not very good. So what we want to do is resize it. So if I just click on the corner there, then I can drag it to the right width, and then I can move it around so it's perfect within the square. So you can see there that I've cropped that, and it looks good. The proportions have been maintained rather than stretching it or skewing it, which is quite hard to do in Canva, so that's good. Okay, and now I've finished. I just click on download, and you can see here it's suggested PNG, but remember what I said before, this is an image, it's not a logo, I don't need transparency, so I'm going to save it as JPEG. There we go. And I leave the size and the quality as they are and just click on download. Okay, great. Now that's ready to upload into my website. But as you can see here, it's called Untitled Design, which is not very good. And the final step before uploading is changing the name of the file. Untitled design is not very helpful to search engines. So the more information that we can give the search engines like Google, the better it is and the more likely that they're going to find you if someone searches them. So say, for example, this salon was based in Brighton and these particular nails, if we just have a look at them, they're sort of tortoiseshell nails. So if I was someone looking for a nail salon in Brighton that did tortoiseshell nails and I happen to do an image search, then we want this one to come up. So what we can do is right click on that and rename. If you're on a Windows computer, it'll be slightly different. And in here, I'm going to write tortoiseshell dash nails dash flare, which is the name of the salon, dash Brighton. Okay, now I've put dashes in there as instead of spaces because search engines will just get rid of that and they will read that as a space, but it's better for your website and it's best practice to use dashes rather than spaces. So try and use this format every time you upload to your website. So now my image is perfectly optimized. Let's go back over to WordPress and upload it. Click on choose image. And then I can do upload files. So this is in Elementor, but it'll be a similar process for any sort of builder within WordPress. So click on select files there. Click on my tortoiseshell nails. And can you see how much smaller that is? So the original file was 1.4 megabytes and this is 24 kilobytes. That is far, far smaller. So click on that. And here we go, we can see the image there, we can see it's uploaded. Now here in the title, it has brought in our file name, which is wonderful. But I just go through and get rid of these spaces. And then put in any capital letters. And we could put a dash there if we wanted. And then copy that and paste that into your alt text. So your alt text is super, super important. Even if your image that was already there didn't have alt text, you should get into the practice of always entering your alt text because alt text is great for screen readers as well as SEO. So if someone was partially sighted or was reading your website using a screen reader, without the alt text, they won't know what this image is, especially not if it's called Untitled 1. It will just literally read out Untitled 1, whereas they know that this is tortoiseshell nails in Brighton. So let's just paste that in there. And then dependent on your theme, it depends whether you want to write a caption or a description, but I'm just going to leave that blank. Then click Insert Media. And there we go, my image is uploaded. And if I click update there, and come back to my website, now you can see that my new nail image has been uploaded. Now you could stop there, but I also recommend that you install the plugin Optimole. It's got a really powerful free plan that optimizes your images even further, and best of all, it allows your visitors to view the image in the right size for their screen. So if they're looking at a tiny little mobile screen that's only 200 pixels, it's not going to serve them an image that's 2000 pixels wide. It's going to resize it to the perfect size for their screen. And best of all, there's absolutely zero coding on your part. So you're basically going to make your website Retina ready as well. So let's install Optimole. So if I come back to my dashboard, down to plugins, then add new and search for Optimole. And there it is, image optimization and lazy load service. Click on install, then activate. And there we go. So if you read this here, it says you've got access to their image optimization service for free until you hit 5k visitors per month. And I guess once you're hitting 5k visitors per month, you won't mind paying for the premium version. So what you need to do is register and email the API key. So you can put your email address in here and then click register for key, and they're going to send me an email. And then I just got this key from my email, so I paste that in there. Then click on connect. And here you can see it's connecting up my site to the Optimole service. And that's it, it's now protecting my website and optimizing any images I upload and also resizing them so that they're the right size for the device that's requesting them. So you don't have to change any settings. If you did want to, you click on the settings here, have a read through and see any that you want to change, but just read it very carefully before changing them. Thank you so much for watching my video today. It's been really lovely to teach you. And please ask any questions at all in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe before you go so you don't miss my future videos. I'll see you again soon.